All right, so for our next speaker, I mentioned that if you go to any town hall in Tigard, you're going to see Oishiki. If you go to any youth sporting events in Tigard, you're going to see John Cook. Our next speaker is a former mayor. In fact, he is, I believe, I don't know if are you the only second generation mayor in his Tigard history? So John has a long history of public service in this community. It really kind of, I think, is in his blood. As a Cook Park, as all of us know, was named after his father, who had some visionary foresight as a mayor. But John, in his own right, was an incredible community volunteer. He was, Tigard first citizen long before he was actually elected mayor, and has continued, even since moving just outside of the community of Tigard, has continued to be a leader in this community. And he's also someone who knows what it takes to be an effective mayor of a city. So with that, I'm really excited that John is here to support Heidi tonight. So everyone, please give it up for former Tigard Mayor John Cook.
Thank you, Ben. I'll answer your question instead of typing it in. I met Heidi 4 years ago. She interviewed for a budget committee position, and myself and council president at the time, Snyder, were interviewing her for a position on the budget. And we were like, wow, she's really good. Not that everybody doesn't come in as, E's on here. And, I put him on the planning commission twice. So, there are people that are really good and we put them on. But at the same time, we're like, wow, she's just well-rounded, well-spoken, articulate, smart. And we're like, she'd be great on the budget committee. And then Jason said, well, what do you think? I said, well, go ahead and ask her. And he's like, hey, Heidi, do you want to be nominated for to actually get a position on the council? And she's like, well, I never thought of that. Well, I don't know. We sort of floored her on the question. Eventually she came around and decided, oh, sure, I'll put my name in and do that. But it was because of just what we saw first off. She, like Ashiki said, she has that position when you first meet her that is very welcoming. And I think that's very important that your leaders have that. Ben, you're right. The city's been around the area's been around for over 150 years, but the city's only been around for 60 years. So we've only had a mayor and city council for 60 years. And so after the November election, Heidi will be the first female mayor of Tigard. So, but that's after 60 years, you're right. But, right now we have a majority female council. So, we actually are moving in the right direction in a lot of things. And so I think looking back, we look at not just her, how she gets along with people and everything, but her leadership skills. She's currently the council president. Not everybody gets that. You actually have to be nominated by your other councilors and then voted in by the other councilors. Some people think that's a pretty given who gets that, but it's not. It's actually pretty hard to get. As you know, Ben, being the chair of the school board, it's a kind of thing that just doesn't happen nonchalantly. So council president's a big deal. It takes the position of the mayor when the mayor can't be at the meeting. Mayor Snyder right now is down in Reno at the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And so if there was a meeting this week, Heidi would be running it, that kind of thing. So I think what she brings is, when I left the council by being a CPA, I was like, we really need somebody else that has that business acumen. And so by being a controller of a company, director of finance now, she deals with large budgets. And so it's one thing to be a small business owner. It's another thing to see the size of budget, the multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars that Tigard has running through their budget. It's not just, hairdresser on Main Street kind of budget. So you really need somebody that understands all of the aspects of that, and she's done that. And I think that's really the important thing is nowadays every dollar is crucial. We have the second lowest permanent tax rate in the county for cities of any size, and so from that standpoint, citizens really want their dollars to be spent wisely. And so Heidi has always had a really good mind for that. But at the same time, she's visionary. And like myself, the answer that she said also is the answer is never, well, that's the way it's always been. It's why is it that way? What can be better? And how can we change that for the future? And I think that's what Heidi brings to us. And I think that's what's most important about Tigard right now is we need the visionary process, the calming effect, and the business acumen that she brings to us. And that's why we're all going to vote Heidi Lube for Tigard mayor.
Very well.